What's up, guys? My name's Derek, and welcome back to the Sundown Audio unofficial YouTube channel. All right, so here we go. Update for today. Doing a little work inside the enclosure. We still got the U18s in here. These are the bone stock Chinese built U18s. I'm just leaving them in temporarily for right now because they're installed and I'm too lazy to pull them out for what little bit of testing I'm doing. But I am testing minor revisions to the loading wall. I'm not going through rebuilding it, dialing it in perfect yet. Told you I'm gonna wait on later to do that. But for now, I am gonna test doing some very small tweaks and things to it. So you can probably see already, I've got a little bit of wood out here on the edge. Yeah, just kind of covering it all up, getting it where it's not quite as uneven or rough or ugly. I'm just testing, doing a little piece of wood there. Same on the inside. Actually took a little more time in there, and I did a piece of wood in there that was angled and fit really good, and it kind of butted up flush with my roundover. So I've been doing some playing there. Every little change that I do inside of here, no matter what it is, whether I shift that little roundover a little bit, I retape it, I add one piece of wood, I add a second piece of wood, but everything I do, I track. So I'm going through, I got my term lab set up, I got my power clamp set up, and every tiny little change I make, I do another test, I write down all my info. And I write down everything from my volume, my frequency, and I do test multiple frequencies, my SPL, I track my power output in volts, amps, reactive, individual power, total power. I'm really big on tracking all the little details. Most of my previous stuff, I was just whatever, throw it in, turn it up, see what happens. But now I'm getting down to the nitty gritty. I'm getting down to the little gains. I don't care if it gains me a tenth at a time, whatever. Every little thing I can do, they will add up. They all add up. So that's what I'm in the process of doing. It's a very long and boring process. I mean, very boring. A lot of people get discouraged at this step where you got to do the just so small and minuscule things. But keep in mind, every little thing can help. You might do something and it hurts you a tenth. It might hurt you a half dB, but you might do the opposite. Just like I threw that quick roundover on there and bam, half a dB jump in score. Like, that's a pretty good jump, especially at the level this is at right now. So that's what I'm doing. I'm not gonna hold the camera and go back and forth because the video would take forever. It's gonna be way too long. But I'm just gonna do little updates, little by little along the way, show you what kind of things I'm testing and show you what kind of things happen and how it affects the SPL and the power. So stay tuned, a lot of little updates coming here. All right, I'm back. The next thing I'm going to test is going to be an angle on the inside of this loading wall. So I saved y'all the time of watching me go back and forth, creating this. And so we're going to climb in here. You're going to see this in real time. Me getting in, installing this thing, and seeing some of the struggles I had to face. So I'm going to show you the inside of this wall here. And if you've been watching from the beginning, then you know I've got angles up here in these top corners because of the way the vehicle tapers at the top. It got a little tight on me. That's fine, I planned for that. But now when doing things like the wood here, I've got to come in and I've got to do angles to fit. And where I want to do this angle to give me kind of a 45 degree in here to see if that helps with any airflow, I've got to get in and do a bunch of funky stuff around here at the top. And yeah, a little bit of measuring, fitting, cutting, fitting, measuring, fitting, cutting, back and forth. Finally, I got a piece that looks like yep, looks like it fits in there pretty good. So we're gonna screw this thing in. I'm gonna let you watch me in real time. I'm just gonna set up a little camera here. See if we make this work. Give you little by little example of what this is like. So same as what I'm doing these side pieces here, I gotta go do a lot of back and forth. I mean, I could spend 30 minutes on one little board, 30 minutes on this board, put it in here. I don't know what's gonna happen. This might not see any kind of gain at all. I might put it in here and lose, and it's a bunch of wasted time, but you know what? I might put it in here, I might gain a dB. You never know till you try it. So now it's gonna, let's just start in the middle. Throw a few quick screws in this. I'm just gonna get about 6 screws in it, 2 roughly the middle, 2 at the bottom. I might do 3 at the top, maybe 2, I don't know. Let's see. Come on. So you can try angles like this all over in your build if you want to. Sometimes they gain, sometimes they hurt, sometimes they don't do anything. I've seen them go every which way, so. Yep, for now it's all hollow behind it. If this works, I'll go back and I'll add some more boards behind it. I'll fit everything, scale it down, and I'll do this completely solid behind there. Just for the record, the loading wall still isn't attached out here. All I did was add some, and this is only 3/8 wood. So this is all still, you can actually hear it chattering. It's all still pretty weak. Matter of fact, I could probably use some more screws on the back side of this, but whatever. Let's go out here. Let's test this. Hopefully y'all can see before we hop out. Make sure y'all can see all of that. See how that did a 45-degree angle. Now something, it's one of my, sorry I missed the tripod, one of my old school philosophies back in the day before fancy stuff, used to use dust. You'd follow your dust patterns on the floor. And if you look down here, you'll see, let me get some more light in this box. I've got a lot of dust on this floor. So these back corners like to collect dust. So that's something I'm gonna get in here and play with, work on some different things back in there. I'm probably gonna try an angle in this back corner, see if that helps any. Gonna even up here where I'm nowhere near done yet. Yeah, there's still a lot of work to get done up here. I'm gonna try some different angles, some different roundovers and things up here, right at this port opening. All this is still rough and sharp and square and nowhere near ideal. Let me clean everything out of here real quick. It's just giving y'all a little bit of a sample of the back and forth, back and forth. And this is one little piece. You didn't get to see the little 30 minutes I just spent cutting that piece of wood. Oh, I don't know what I did with my cart. All right, so let me get my tripod set up here. Bear with me. Sorry, it's probably all in the mic. Sorry, guys. Here we go. Now we can see term lab. Let's clear that out. And again, keeping lots of notes. Every little thing I change, I make notes. If I change something, what I change. Now, I don't expect this to change frequency any, but I'm gonna check it out anyway. Currently, my peak frequency is 59. So I'm gonna start with that. And I'm doing kind of low power testing. I'm not turning it all the way up, not doing 66s for this testing. Not yet. Right now I'm doing all my testing around 160 dB. So I know it's gonna put me around volume 34 at 59 Hertz. Should get me a little over 160. Let's see what happens. All right, so comparatively to my last good score there, it's not much of a change. So previously I did a 160.5, and that was at 1336 watts per amp. This is a 160.6 at 1364 watts per amp. So now go to my notes and track every little thing. So I'll write it all down. I'm gonna write down my voltage output, my current output, write down my power, my individual power, my total power. And maybe even do a little math here real quick. So there's some formulas you can use even when your score and power is a little bit off. You can track still if you saw any kind of gain or not, as far as your efficiency gain. So I used a total of 5,456 watts that time compared to 5,344 watts last time. So a difference of 112 watts, and I saw a 1/10 gain. So now I didn't know, was that 1/10 gain worth that extra 112 watts that I saw? And to do that, I basically do a efficiency calculation. And to me, it looks like pretty negligible. But that's it. Here's a little sample. I'm going to be doing a bunch of this back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, trying little things, little at a time, at a time, at a time. So stay tuned. We'll be back again. All right, so here's something I figure y'all think will be interesting. I'm going to do a test hit at a kind of high volume right now. And I figure y'all might want to see what the cab looks like. So we'll set this camera up, tripod here, try and get y'all in good and close, get a good angle, and let's see, bring you down a little bit. Too much right there. Let's try this out. So y'all should be able to see right there. Let's go do a dark. All right, what'd that look like? I have no idea. I actually still have never stood up here and watched the cab during a burp, ever. I'll have to review the footage myself. This will probably be one of the first times I've ever seen it, but there we go. So there's our score. Pretty comparable to where it's been. I really want to see a 67 out of it tonight. Figure out what I got to do to make that happen. Stay tuned. All right. Trying something else. Got it charging up a little bit. You're going to hear the charger up here going. I got my little excess power PSC 60 going to town. I'm trying to set the camera up right here, front and center for y'all this time. Let's see, give you a little boost. I don't know if you better see anything, but we're gonna try. Shoot for that 167. Oh my goodness. Y'all will not believe this. Oh man. So there you go. So close. It's right there. It is right there. I just want to see a 167 tonight. Gains little by little by little. So last video, if you ain't caught on by now, every now and then I throw a bonus clip at the very end of the video. I did that in the last video. I did my one more click, and I got a 66.6 out of it. Last time I was turning it up. 66.9 tonight, 3 more tenths. I just want to see a 67. I don't know if I'll see it. We're gonna try. We're gonna do some few more little tweaks in here, a few more play in. I'm gonna figure something out. I got to do it before I go home tonight. I want to see these are still the same. I know you're competitive. You say it over and over. It's these right here, the made in China bone stock U18 D2s, same ones I put on the box. That's what's still in this truck. I need to see these things do a 67 before I go home. Got to see it, because I know my other subs, if I had my custom used rebuilt, they were just a little bit louder than this. They were like 2 tenths, maybe 3 tenths. They were a little bit louder. I'm not going to waste the effort and money into rebuilding those, because I got the Neos chilling, just waiting to get those things in here. I just need that 1 more tenth. 1 more tenth, I'm going home happy. Stay tuned, guys. We got to get it. We got to see it. I got to figure something else out. I'm getting another tenth out of this thing tonight. All right, so here's one of the other little things I'm trying. Got some little just 45-degree pieces like this. And since my opening here, my port opening isn't finished, and I won't be doing any of the final stuff right now, I'm gonna do some little temporary pieces that you see here that are essentially gonna come in and kind of fill this lip I got there and up here. And I'm trying to give myself a little smoother of an angle transition to essentially flare it. So the roundover help there, I know good and well roundover is going to help top, bottom, and then the other sides, but it's just one of those steps I can't do yet. So I'm going to try and do some temporary, just 45-degree angles as a semi-roundover. So that's the next thing I'm going to try. Give me a second. Let me get these screwed in. Be right back. All right, guys, real quick. I know this video is starting to get long. Let me show you what I got going on. I got these pieces in. So I just got a little angle up here at the top. I did me a little angle down here at the bottom, just some quick duct tape. And on the side here, I'm trying to stay out of that light, trying to get you a good view. I had an extra piece of pipe left over from when I cut this piece here. This was some random, honestly, it's conduit pipe. So I went and I cut this down, did a few little notches in it, whatever. Got me a little round over here on this side. And we're about to test this out. So let me get this shut up. And keep in mind, this is a low power efficiency test. Everything should be cleared out here. So I'm gonna go back to what I know was my best kind of efficiency number, and that was 59 Hertz. So I got all my notes. Again, I can go back and look. So it's just low power around that 160. So I was volume 34 set, 59 Hertz set. I'm just gonna try and hold the camera and roll this if I can. right. So, I don't know if you can see my notes here, but to make this simple, I'm gonna read them out to you. So my last low power like this, volume 34, 59 hertz, I did a 160.6 at 1364 watts per sub. So I'm down on power, up on score. I don't even need to do the math. That's good. That's actually really good. 3/10 gain on less power. Now power is negligible because sometimes you'll do a burp back to back and you'll see a slight little power difference. Now my power difference is about 38 watts. It's 38 watts an amp, so 38, 152 watts less total power. That's very, very minimal, almost negligible. But see that 3/10 gain? I know my stuff did me a pretty good gain. This is the type of things, back and forth, back and forth. And sometimes it's boring. Sometimes you'll do a bunch of stuff. Like for the most part, I did a bunch of work back and forth on the angle in there. I saw almost no gain from it. I didn't see a loss. Now, in my book, as long as I don't see a loss, it's still good. I'm still in the positive. If you do a bunch of work and you lose score, oh man, that's horrible. It's gut wrenching. It'll suck the life out of you for something like that, especially if it's massive. But no gain at all, I can live with that. Matter of fact, I'm leaving the angle in there because I didn't see a loss. I didn't see a gain, but it's something I can go back and it's really easy for me to unscrew it, do a quick test later. I think it's gonna help me out later on down the road. But yeah, right now, low power, that was a really good gain. Stay tuned. Pretty sure I got that 167 in the bag now. All right, guys, I'm trying for that 67. Up here, I'm getting high on my reactive load. I say that high. Basically, at the volume and reactive load, I'm running out of a little bit of steam on power. So if I shift up from my more efficient 59, if I shift up to 60 hertz, I can squeeze a little more power out of it for a little more SPL. And that's what I'm gonna try and do here. Let's see how it goes. Cross our fingers, 167 or bust. Oh, still ain't got it. All right, guys, I really, really wanted to see that 167, but unfortunately, I just looked at the clock and I am out of time. Just wanted to come in here and check all these loud burps. No issues with subwoofers. They all look good. No blowouts. Everything going good. So, I don't know. I'll be back. We'll do a little more testing. I'm thinking a cool, fresh burp on these subs will get them where I need them to be. So, we'll be back. Stay tuned. All right, fresh burp in the morning. Ready? Here we go. Cross your fingers. Some bitch. All right, guys. Well, that's it. I'm done testing these U's. I admit I failed. I did not reach my goal of a 167 with these. With the last set of U18s, I made it louder. But that wasn't the point this time. This time I knew I was capped on power, so I had to do a bunch of little things to gain that every little tenth. Put a bunch of work in, ran out of time last night. It's a new day, thought I would get it today, didn't get it, but that's fine. If this video comes off as weird, a little choppy with some of the editing, it's probably because I've got so much footage. I put about 4 hours into work of doing various little things, messing around, trying to get those. I took a bunch of footage of it, but I don't want the video to be an hour long or 4 hours long. So I'm gonna do a bunch of editing, condense it all down. Sorry about that, but it just kind of lets y'all know how much just time and testing and nitpicking little thing goes into SPL and doing all the various little stuff that you have to do, all the crazy little things you got to take so much time to mess with and test and modify and test. But anyway, that's it. I'm done with U's. U's are actually out of the truck. I done pulled them out. They're sitting back there on that cart. That's fine because now I got Neos. That's it. Neos are installed. All testing from here forward is probably going to be Neos. That's when I'm running the truck. I'm getting them in, dialing everything in for that. So look for that testing coming up soon. It's going pretty well so far. But that's it. Ending this video here. 66.9 with some stock U's. 168 with my different coils that I can get a little more power to. I'm happy with the performance from them. Time to go Neos. Time to turn this thing up. Probably show y'all some low power testing. I think I'm gonna keep the big score a secret until Team High Voltage show. Coming up 1 week from this weekend on April 6th, Newport, Tennessee. I will be there. Project SPL will be there. You should be there too. But anyway, wrapping this video up because I know it's probably long as crap anyway. Remember guys, if you like what we're doing on the channel, click that thumbs up button, give us a like, subscribe, share, and until next time, we will see y'all